Hey, what's going on everyone? Supreme Coming here. So I am back for more alternation review. So this time we're going to be going over the three new alternation for the event parts. You have three of them, and then as well as a build project Gundam Groundsel. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to start out the build project unit. I think that's probably going to be the more controversial stuff right now for this week. So currently you can't get the whole unit yet, but you have to start prepping to get all the material A for this week. So it's gonna be like a 4-week straight period. So this week you're gonna get the material A, next week you're gonna get the material B, and then the following week you're gonna get material C and D. So we're gonna start analyzing all 9 of these parts. There's a lot to go through, so this is gonna be a pretty long analysis video on these guys over here. So let's get started now. So we're gonna first start with the head, max out everything. So first thing I want to point out that this has an EX skill, so automatically it's not gonna be a good unit, not a good kit to alternate. And this one is gonna be pretty hard to get it up to level 10 as well, because it's a build project unit. Unless you guys have you guys want to summon a lot to get this guy to level 10. At level 1 the awakening is garbage, because you have to wait 18 seconds before you can use it. I mean, granted you can put some initial cooldown, but and the effect time is going to be 30 seconds at level 1, so that's not good. Even though you're going to get a raise of melee attack by 45 and then shot by 10, I don't think it doesn't justify it. You can probably slap in some better EX portrait for that. So this one I wouldn't alternate it. But we take a look at the stats. Right now currently this guy is ranked number 2 for the head department, but probably next week this will get overtaken if they decided to release another melee type based unit. So at rank 2 this guy is looking at 4,428, so that's pretty good. The word tech does support that as well. You have high firepower and high mobility, so that's pretty good. Two good word tech for melee build, but obviously pro tech still gonna be the better pro tech, and what is it, mobile fighter still gonna be the top 2 stat gain for melee build. So this one is pretty good. And then in terms of the shot department, you're looking at rank 8, gonna come in at 10,138. if you do want to put this into your shot build. Obviously if you're doing like a shot build, there's infinitely more better choices, so this one will just stay in the melee category. So moving on to the chest. So the head I want to alternate it, just no, because you have that awakening skill over there. It's just no. Okay, another EX skill over here, so let's look at the EX skill first. So this one's gonna be the breast Vulcan over here, so gonna come in at A pierce and B plus power, so this one's gonna be pretty good. You do have to be wary about these kind of stats over here, because the high new Gundam, the P version high new Gundam, the arm and the shield does have the same stats spread over here, A pierce and B plus power, but actually the arm machine gun of the high new Gundam does not output better than the shield. So even though the stat over here says a B plus power, that does not actually display that in actual battle, so keep that in mind. These are good, but I wouldn't really put too much hope into these kind of EX skill. But what about the stat? In terms of the chat stat, melee and shot department, we're coming in at rank 4 actually. Both of them closing into just 5,000, actually 5,005 for the chest, so that's gonna be rank 4, pretty good actually. Word tag again, high firepower and high mobility. So if you guys are looking for some pretty good stat stick for your build, this one can be a good option. But obviously there are some easier better alternative than the build project. Obviously maybe even a regular Sokai chest with around the same stat is better, because it's easier to obtain. Obviously to get the chest you're gonna need material B and C. I didn't talk about the head material you need 5 material A and B, so that's gonna be 10 multi summons over there. So obviously any other Sokais or limited would be more cheaper than this guy over here. So even though it's a stat stick over here, I wouldn't go out of my way to just alternate it or even summon for it. Moving on to the arm. What do we have for the arm? So the arm unfortunately did not make it to any of the top rankings, top 20, so that's a little bit of a letdown, but because the portrait is actually busted. If you guys do have to go for any one specific part, I would say the arm is going to be your best bet, because if you take a look at the portrait over here, if you have high power active, melee power boosted by 30. If you have power attribute, melee power boosted by 35. So this is hands down one of the better portrait in this whole kit. So if you guys do really have to go for something, this one, the arm would be your best bet. Even though the melee stat is gonna come in only as what, 9,795. If we do double the arm like this one as the main part and then subslide it, you will still get a pretty good output at the end of the day. So with like this portrait right here, I'm sold. Like this one, the arm, that's the only one I'm probably gonna recommend you guys to alternate. No, not even alternate, just to get the parts. So you're gonna need fire material A and then fire material C. So you have, if you do want to get the arm, you have to start summoning the step up. We have a step up banner, right? So that one lasts until March. So that step up banner will stay, will have the material A until all the way at the end of the period. So if you guys at the end of the period, like 3rd March or late February, oh, I wanna get material A, so you guys are gonna have to summon on that banner. I think that's the only way to get it, unless you do some, what do you call it, you use one of the other material like B, C, or D to like make like a material A, but that's gonna be more costly, I would say, at the end of the day. So arm is 100% alternate that guy if you guys are gonna go for something in this kit. Moving on to the leg, or what are we doing over here for the leg? Another EX skill, so this one's gonna be a funnel type. I'm just gonna be doing an A+ and A-. So in theory, it looks good on paper, right? But like in actual battle, like how good this funnel actually, how good is it? This really depends on like how fast and like how rapidly the funnel shoots. If it doesn't like shoot fast enough, rapid enough, I don't think this will output enough damage to compensate for that. So this one I don't know. I don't actually own it, obviously, so I can't give like a recommendation of how good the funnel is. So this one I actually just hold it off. In terms of the leg, what are the standings? In terms of melee, we are looking at rank 7, coming in at 4,541. So that there's a lot more better choices, obviously. And then in terms of the shot department, we're looking at rank 3. That's good, right? Rank 3 is good, coming in at 4,522. So Vortex, this you can kind of support that as like a shot build. You have high firepower, so that's a pretty common link or common tag for a shot build. So this one you can work something out of that if you really want this kind of stat you're looking at. Like look at that defense, like 5,000 on both. It's good. But like I said, I wouldn't really recommend alternating this guy because I wouldn't even recommend summoning just to get the material, right? It's just too costly overall. Moving on to the chest, not the chest, excuse me, the backpack. The backpack doesn't actually make it into the top rankings at all, so they're below rank 20 from that app I've been using, the GBM info. I'll probably leave it in the description as well if you guys do want to check that out. This is not sponsored or anything, so it's just, I think it is something I think is good for you, anyone who wants to like a quick comparison stuff. So no sponsor, no nothing. So what are we looking at the portrait? So when armor 60% or more, buff EXQ affects by 22%, so that's pretty solid. And then when close combat is active, melee power boosted by 35%. So I have noticed that this whole kit mainly revolves around like buffing of these melee power. Have I seen any portrait that buffs EXQ yet? I might have, but might have not. I don't know. Buff EXQ effect is good. If you guys are running full 3 EXQ that does like the effects, upon using it you get like a buff then that is good, because you can kind of extend a little bit longer, and then if you pair it up with some initial cooldown, not initial cooldown, like general EX skill cooldown, you can kind of boost that in a way you can keep using it. You can activate it, and then the other, like, you can kind of stack it in a way. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you can kind of stack it. So this one can be good, pretty solid, I would say. But obviously you just want like a general EX skill buff, and instead that'll be just be a lot better, right? Okay, so moving on to the double sword. I think this is a double sword, right? I did have it rank at this is a beam scythe, but I did rank it at the double sword category. So this one will come in at rank 1 at 1150, so pretty 11,050. So we have EX skill over here. This one is, I would say the effect is pretty good. Cooldown is only 3 seconds, so you don't really need like any initial cooldown to like buff that guy. So I'm just gonna like right when you enter the battle, you can just use it right away. So it's gonna come in at A- in both of these over here, Pierce and Power. So that should be pretty good. We'll actually have to see it in battle to see how it actually functions. Gonna have a pretty common word check over here, high power and close combat. So like this whole unit, the one plus thing about this whole unit is pretty the word tag is pretty versatile, you can say. Obviously it's really focused on melee build, but you can kind of work it out with like a shot build as well. So pretty well balanced, I would say, then overall. So we actually have 3 melee weapon over here. So this one is the whip. They rank it at the whip category as well. It will come in at rank 1 as well. We do have another EX skill over here, so you can kind of have like a pick of like, oh, do I want to use the whip, the two-ended sword, or like a regular beam saber. So again, this one is a pretty good EX skill because initial cooldown is only, initial cooldown is only 3 seconds, so that's gonna be pretty good. Like once you enter the battle, you can use it right away. Same word tag, but with the exception of changing it to high mobility, which is fine. I would say it was to be a pretty good word tag for a melee build. And then moving on to the beam saber. Beam saber is up there as well, rank number 3. This is actually just beat the double sky beam saber by like a smidge. this right here shows how powerful these build unit are, because build project units are, because they have to really make it busted in order for people to like summon it. Like they see stat like, oh my god, like look at these stats, I need to summon it. But you guys, it comes down to like personal preference, I would say. Like you can if you guys really like the unit, you can get it, but otherwise there's infinitely more better choices nowadays because of how often we have alternation and revive alternation. So yeah, so what are we doing over here? So at the portrait, when armor 60% or more, enemy power reduced by 30%. I've said this many times, I don't think these are particularly too good of a portrait. It's too restrictive. Not that it's restrictive, but you don't really often use it enough, if you get what I mean. So I'd rather have something a little bit more common, like a little bit more more important. I don't this is not the most important portrait though, so I wouldn't recommend this beam saber. And then with rifle category, you do have an EXQ power boost by 35%, so that's just a pretty versatile EXQ over here, because it's not restricted to like melee or shot, or yeah, it's not restricted to like any specific typing, so this one is good. Okay, moving on to our last parts over here, the beam rifle. So we have some melee stat. The melee defense, change gear, you have a 283. Does not make it into the top 20, so okay. And then as far as the beam rifle category, this is a rank 6 coming in at a 10,628. Pretty good, right? But what about the word tag over here? So word tag, when high mobility, initial cooldown boost by 20%. So this is good. I like that. I like that a lot. And then with twin blade category, equip EXQ boosted by 35%. So obviously you have to pair it up with the double blade. This guy that that it comes with. So pretty good. This is a pretty good set of EXQ, not EXQ, excuse me, portrait over here. So this is something that's workable. And then with high firepower and high mobility, pretty good. So overall, would I recommend you guys like go ham on to summoning? No, because they released this on a pretty earlier schedule. I'm talking about alternation, so it gives people time to look at like in the next 3 weeks, like what kind of good stuff are we gonna get. So next week for sure we should be getting a festival banner, Gundam festival, yeah. So if they release anything better, this to temporarily put this guy a little bit low in the ranking, so more choices. So and then to be more 3 weeks later, we're gonna probably be getting another Sokai banner. So that's another chance to see if there's gonna be any better parts than this guy over here, because this guy is you can say it's locked behind like a paywall. You have to summon like 90. You have to summon in 90 multi summons throughout the course of the 4 weeks. So this is a pretty pricey parts to get. So I decided to put a whole up into this 3 event parts to talk about them, because I don't think any of these parts are worthy enough to alternate. And then you guys take a look over here. This alternation tool over here, the light blue alternation tool, is really hard to come by right now. So I think it's really best to just hold off to see if they're gonna release any more better event parts to alternate. I think a lot of people are hoping to get the X1, the Crosswind X1, the Warfare version of it. The chest is like really busted with the EXQ, the beam gun. So if they decided to release later on down the schedule, I think a lot of people would rather wait for that. As for the Strike Noir backpack as well, that has a pretty busted backpack EXQ. So I think it is best to just hold off on them as of now. I just don't think any of these were worthy enough to alternate. So I think this will conclude this alternation review. So obviously we have a lot this week. Just a lot. So next week we should be getting another festival banner and will be more alternation. So yeah, I'm not doing any summoning this week. I'm just gonna hold up into next week to see what they're gonna drop. Maybe they're gonna do like surprise banner this Thursday, like Thursday night, early Friday for more for you guys. So we just have to wait and see. So with that being said, I will catch you guys all on the next one.